Quad 6.6. I think it's time. I really do. I think it's time that we do something about this prop issue. So, for these builds, this 1102 size motor, 1103, 1202.5, 1 to 2S kind of builds, we just don't have a prop. We don't have a good prop that's about 60 or 65 millimeters, about 2.5 inches. We just don't have a prop to really bring those quads to life. And I think we need to do something about it. And I'm going to ask you a small favor. It's actually really legitimately a small favor. But I'll talk about that in a second. The background on this is I've been doing this. I've been doing this Quad 66 gig, for like 3 years. And I started on this size, with the 65 millimeter props. And I've tried a whole bunch of things. I've tried going really light. I've tried going heavier. I've tried 2-inch props, 3-inch props, 1S, 2S, 3S. And I think I've shared some good things, or I brought some good things to the community, like spending a lot of time digging into Betaflight, showing you how to set it up for these micro quads, showing you how to put a really good tune on these quads. I've also done things in terms of showing you, like, how much frame do you need? And granted, I'm working mainly with my frames, but I've shown you, like, in the black box logs, what happens if you have enough frame or you don't have enough frame? What happens if you have, noisy props or don't have noisy props? And I've shown you combinations of, like, trying different things with 1102 size motors, 1202.5, 1103, 10002 motors. And there's a lot of great combinations out there, and I don't want to take anything away from the 2-inch quads or the 3-inch quads, but my vision where I think the sweet spot is for me, and I think it would be the sweet spot for a lot of you, is right in here with these, 110 millimeter frame to 115 millimeter frame, kind of in this 1102, 1103, or 1202.5 size motors. We just don't have a prop for this. And these quads, they just live and die on a good prop. You just need the efficiency and performance of a decent prop. You need the balance. And if you don't have those things, these quads are just so hamstrung. And these quads are doing amazingly well without having the right prop. And if we just had the right prop, I think it would just, really push this over the edge and get us where we need to be. In terms of, I'm just starting here in terms of what I'm asking you for today. And if this doesn't work, we'll go down other options. But I think the first place I want to start was with NubiDrone. So part of this is they've got something invested here with putting out these new motors. They've got the 1102s, and they've got them in 10,000 kV, 19,000 kV. And while the 1102 and while the 2S 10,000 kV does work on the 51 millimeter prop, I'd really like to see what it could do on a 60 or 65 millimeter prop. And their 19,000 kV motor, it needs a prop. Those 2015s aren't enough for it. It really does. And one person, fortunately, who kind of understands this dilemma is Dalton. I've known Dalton for a little while, not personally, but through social media and working on projects in terms of, like, motor testing, stuff like that. And Dalton has been doing this thing forever. He has been doing, like, the little deuce frames and builds, the little 2.5-inch 2S builds, way before you ever heard what a toothpick was. And so he knows this area, and he knows this pain, and he understands what the potential is here. And so, I kind of went over here to NubiDrone and knocked on their door, and fortunately kind of have a friendly face with Dalton. And he opens the door, and I think I'm going to take this as a good sign, but I see Calvin Lee coming in here, and I mean, he's at least given us an emoji. He's at least given us something. And at the end of the day, you know what? NubiDrone, they're a business. I think if they see the opportunity to make the money, they're going to do it. And so the favor that I'm asking you is, let's show them the interest in these props. Let's come on over here, either in this thread or start your own thread, but come over here on Facebook or wherever, Instagram or wherever else they are. I don't know where else they are, but whether it's YouTube or Facebook or something, show them the interest. Come in here and just say, yes, we want these props. We like these builds and we want to do this prop. And if there's enough interest, I'm sure their business mind is going to kick in and say, hey, there's interest. We should do this. Now, the reason I'm thinking NubiDrone is, I kind of mentioned they've got a little bit invested, but They also make really good props. They've got really great ASCII props for whoops. The size isn't where I want to see it for these outdoor quads. I think their biggest prop is like the 41 or something like that. But they make good props, really well balanced ASCII props. And I think they can take that knowledge and scale it up and give us a nice biblade. They know some things about the biblades with the Venom props. Those things also work really well in smaller sizes. And so why not? So that's the favor. Come over here on Facebook and say, yes, Kelvin, we want these props. Please make these props. And I'm sure if we drive enough interest, I'm sure they're going to do it. And I'm also sure that if we get a good prop, I'm going to enjoy it. I know that for a fact. But I think you're going to enjoy it too. And I think it's really going to help develop this area that I don't know why we started there. The toothpick started there. I started there. Dalton started there. And like, why did we not finish it? Like, why did we not get that cart across the finish line for the 2.5-inch prop? Why didn't we ever get a good one? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, but I think it's time. So come on over here. Tell them you want these props. Please, please, please. Let's make this happen. Until next time, cheers.